Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to the second full day-ish on Project Blondie. Let's get into it straight away. So, there she blows in the background there. So, you saw what we did yesterday. There's still a few bits of finishing off to do. The seats are pretty much dry. There's still very tiny bit of dampness in them, but are pretty much dry now. And the front bumper still needs a little bit of work. I am going to put a little bit of filler in there because it hasn't. The paint hasn't gone on very well, and there is still a small crack showing. So even though it's going to be covered up by the number plate, I still want to do it properly. So. Or as properly as I can myself. So I'm going to do that today, even though it's cold. I know it's not a good day for good weather for painting, but it's got to be done. So I'm going to do that. To start with, I'm going to hoover it out inside. I'm not going to film me hoovering out the inside of a car, but I'm going to do that. And all that overspray needs to be taken off, cleaned up inside. I've got an air freshener in there already, I think. Yeah, so it smells quite nice in there. So all is good. Obviously it still needs to be serviced. I'm waiting for the logbook, so I did want to get this all done, like literally get it all done in a day, but I'm not going to bother because I can't sell it until I get the logbook back anyway. And it's damn cold out here, so I'm going to get on. I'm not going to service it today. I'll leave that till next week, and with a bit of luck it might have warmed up a bit. It is like 1 degrees, something like that again today. Really cold. You can tell when it's really cold because I've got my hat on, covering up my bald head. So yeah, I'm going to clean the inside, go over it and get off any other little scuffs and bits and pieces, and then have another go at that front bumper. That's all I've got to do really today, but let's get on with that now. So as you can see, the seat's a little bit patchy still. I think that's where they're drying. We've still got this little, yeah, no, they are definitely still a little bit damp. But we've got all this overspray that I showed you yesterday. It's horrendous. So I'm going to hoover it all out and go over these bits of carpet again as well. I think it's chalk or something. I reckon someone's been walking somewhere where there's chalk and it's all over the inside of the car. Obviously this isn't chalk, this is me overspray, but all these bits, all these marks on the carpet, these bits on the seat, I think it's chalk, and for some reason it didn't come out. I don't know if it's chalk on the seat or whether it was the residue, as I said yesterday, from me my cleaning machine. I'm not sure, but we're going to get this all done, get this all nice and clean inside, get these all cleaned up. These are a bit grubby. Get these cleaned up with get these cleaned up with elbow grease, and then we're going to go over and get all these little marks, bits and pieces off. I think there's a couple on the back bumper as well. There's this little mark. I don't know whether that will come off or not. See what we can do with it. So we'll be back once we've done all those. There you go. Nice clean engine. Still got a bolt missing there. Don't know what happened to the bolt for that, but I've got loads of spares, so I'll find one. Also a bolt missing there as well. Car came like that, but I've got spares for those. I've got to take it off and service it anyway, so I'm not going to bother putting one in there now. So yeah, engine bay's quite nice and clean now. It wasn't hugely dirty to start with, but cleaned all the scuttle panel and as the best I can underneath without taking it off. Cleaned all the top of the front panel, all the side bits and so on, and inside is all now free of overspray, all nice and clean, no overspray. Cleaned all the floor, all the side bits, dashboard, steering wheel, top of the seats, back and front, and cleaned inside the hatch as well. All I've got to do now is just clean that. Yeah, these bits were one of the worst bits that were covered in the overspray. Seats are almost dry. That one is still a bit patchy, but I think this one, the heater was on the floor down there, so it was obviously blowing more on this side, so that one is still a little bit damp, which is why it looks a bit patchy, but this one looks fine now. Well, this one wasn't that dirty. It was the passenger seat that was the dirtiest, but that's all nice and clean inside. In fact, before I get in there, I'm going to wash my hands. And I can't really do much to the front as I'd intended to, because it's on and off raining. It's only light rain, but obviously I can't put paint on stuff when it's raining. I might stick a little bit of filler in there, in this bit here, and just cover it up so it goes off, so I can sand it and paint it maybe at the weekend. So there's not really an awful lot more I could do now, I don't think. I'm not going to service it now. As I say, I'm waiting for the logbook to come back, so until that logbook comes back there's not really much else I can do. Final cleaning will happen once it's all done and complete and serviced, etc. Then I'll obviously black up the tyres and clean under the wheel arches and so on, get all those bits and pieces finished to present it to someone who's going to buy it. So I haven't really set a price for this yet, but when you think the amount of work I've had to do on it, very little, it's going to be a good bit of profit in this, and also it's going to be a cracking little car for somebody. I've got to change the speedo, that's one other thing I've got to do. I have bought one more speedo, but it's from a 2019 car. It was a bit of an experiment actually. So obviously it's in here, it doesn't look any different, anything to look at. It's got 6,000 miles on the clock, but because it's from a 2019, it says on the sticker here as well, I think, yep, 2019. Down in the bottom right hand corner there somewhere is the tyre pressure sensor lights. Because this car hasn't got tyre pressure sensor, it flashes, and then after a little while it just stays on. Can't disable it in MES because the car hasn't got it in to disabled. So if you go into the menus within the body computer, it says tyre pressure sensors not present. So obviously you can't switch it off because it's not there to switch off. So I can't use that in this car. If you remember, I attempted to repair some of these speedos. Now there's one, well, I watched another video of somebody, and if you remember, neither of these seemed to work in the where I swapped them over, and I believe possibly I may have put it in wrong, because there's a little, I watched another video, I think it was it American video, I can't remember, but I watched another video and there was, like a computer, where this plugs into, this ribbon cable, it's got like a little gate, and you sort of lift up the gate, pull it out, close the gate. When you push it back in, you have to lift up the gate, push it in, close the gate. I didn't lift up any gate, I just pushed it straight in. I thought it was just a push in. So that could be why they weren't working, because it wasn't actually making contact. So Loopy Harold still has got a Duff Speedo in it. So I'm going to try that, or say Duff, it's minorly Duff. It's the one I bought on eBay that has the just one little light, steering light, which is I'm going to sort out, but because it's loose in the car, it's not screwed in, it's easy just to take in, take out, put another one in. So I'm going to try them again and see if it was my fault that it's wrong. But that's another story anyway, we'll come back to that some other time. So I'm going to get those little bits cleaned first, and then we'll see what the weather's like. And literally, as I finished recording then, DHL turned up with another Speedo. So I can't remember what the mileage is on this one, but this is, I think this one's either going to go in this pop. So it says 2010 on there, but it should be, I'll have to double check, because obviously 2010 is fine, assuming it's the start-stop version, not the pre-start stop version. So I'll have to check that in Loopy Harold, make sure it's okay. And obviously make sure it's not a faulty one, as I keep getting faulty ones recently. I'll have to double check that. Obviously we can go by the serial number, but I'll just check on the listing and see what it says. And I will try that at the weekend in Loopy Harold just to make sure it's okay. Because obviously it's either going to go in, it's probably going to put it in this one. I think it was around the 50 something thousand mark, and this is 64,000. On this one. I'm not even sure if I showed you the faint lights, but there are the usual problem. There's an airbag light and something else very faintly. It seems to be every car I get now has got this problem, whereas it was now and again, but it seems to be getting so common now. So we will possibly put this one in this car, possibly put it in Loopy Harold, I'm not sure yet. Both the mileage on this is lower than both cars, so it can go in either, assuming, as long as it's a post stop start. Actually, we should be able to. Not sure you can see them. No, of course, because it comes up start stop in the middle, doesn't it? There's no. No, there is a start stop. What if I hold it up to the light? You can actually see the icon for stop. Ah, I can see it. Yes. Don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, there you go. Look, you can see there is a stop start icon there. So that means it should. Yeah, it will work then, as long as there's no dodgy lights on it. But because I've had so many dodgy ones recently, I'm going to plug it in and check it before I leave feedback and make sure he's okay. Good. Right, anyway, where were we? I was cleaning, wasn't I? So I'm going to go back and do those bits of cleaning, then we'll come back. So I'd actually packed up for the day because of the weather. But when I moved the car back to its position, I noticed that we've got no start stop inactive and check engine has come on all of a sudden. I got a horrible feeling. What I did was push all those wires back into the body. Right, I've plugged into the engine ECU now, so I've had to take the yellow adapter out and put it in without an adapter. I'm going to connect to the engine and see what that comes up with. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, it wasn't doing that before, so maybe it is the that rear hatch wiring. See what we've got. Oh, preheating resistance 1 above catalyzer. Oh, so it's the Ujmawalla. Oh, that's all right then. So it's not the hatch wiring. That's good. I'm pleased about that. All it is the lambda sensor. Oh, that's all right. That's easy enough to change. I'm pleased about that. Clear error. It says it's present, so it's going to come back on it. Yeah. So that obviously is knackered. I don't think I didn't unplug it yesterday. So it did. Funny that it's only just come up. How bizarre. So yeah, I've got loads and loads of them. I'm not going to do it now because I've changed my clothes and I don't want to get all dirty again. So I'll do that when on the next day on the car. So I wanted to come and check it anyway. That's good. It's fine. So what else have I done? I've installed this little thing down here. This is really cool. Someone on the channel recommended this to me. It's a phone charger. It's a Bluetooth transmitter for your phone and your music, calls, everything. It's brilliant. You just pair it with your car. When you switch on, it comes up as there 107.9, which is the frequency, the FM frequency that it connects to your stereo. It just works. It is so. I haven't tried it on calls yet because I've been filming each time, so I haven't got round to trying it. But it's really good. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was an Amazon job, or was it a eBay job? I can't remember. I'm going to have a look because I'm going to get another one for the next car. But it is really good. Doesn't waste any power because obviously the cigarette lighter socket is only live when the car's on, switched on. So when you switch it on, if it will do it, let's see. So it gives you your battery voltage, 13.4, and then it normally says connecting. Oh, it's not saying connecting because I've got the microphone plugged in. But yeah, oh well, that's because the stereo's not on. Let's turn the stereo on. Do it again. All right, so it's off. Stereo's on. Oh, we're on the wrong channel. It's got to be on 107.9. I've got a dodgy aerial on this. There we go, 107.9. It talks to you. Believe me, it does. It's only because I didn't have it connected to the right thing. But it does talk to you and says connecting and connected. It's really good. It was quite cheap. I can't remember how much it was, but it was really cheap. It's the best one I've seen by far. Best one I've seen by far. So there's a fast charge on there. There's an ordinary USB connection. As I say, you can play your music and you can make phone calls if you've got a pop. Excellent. It's a really lovely bit of kit. So I can't remember who it was that told me about that, but whoever you are, thank you for that. And I bought one a while ago and I've not had the opportunity to use it. This is the box. See, I've got the box under here. There it is. BT hands-free car charger. Really, a really good bit of kit. I keep saying that, don't I? Yeah, it's good. Right, that was it anyway. I just wanted a little update on that, and we'll come back when we change that catalytic converter. It's not a catalytic converter, is it? Lambda sensor. We'll do that. Probably won't be to the weekend or after the weekend, because I'm working weekend or working Saturday night anyway. So yeah, we'll probably do it Sunday or Monday. Till then, see you soon. Right, a few days have passed since that last video. I've been at work for 4 days, and the car, obviously nothing's been done while I've been working, so we're back on it today. We've got 3 main things to do today. First thing we're going to do is rub that filler down that I did the other day, try and prep that for paint, maybe get some paint on it. As you can see, it's wet. It's a horrible wet, damp, nasty day, not the ideal day for painting, but I'm going to have a go, see what I can do. At the very least, get it all rubbed down and flat, ready for paint, but hopefully I can get some paint on it as well. As it's only a little bit, I might be able to get away with it. The other 2 things, if you remember, well you will, because it was only a few seconds ago for you, the lambda sensor throwing up an error. So I'm going to do that, change the lambda sensor, but the first thing I'm going to do is get that speedo changed. I've got one for it, so I'm just going to verify where the rogue lights are on it, so I can mark it for future reference, and then we're going to get it out and get it changed. As you can see, there's 64,360 miles on this. It's not the 6th of January, it's the 1st of February today. You can see there, just underneath the passenger airbag light, you can see very faintly lit the airbag one. So if we switch that off, back on again, see the airbag one above the petrol light comes on bright. When they all go off, that is still lit very dimly. So what I'm going to do, before I actually change this, so I want to make a note of where that is. So that's just above the 25 mile an hour spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to see if that lamp is actually dimly alight or whether it can be pushed down before I actually just change it, because that's the only thing that's wrong with this speedo. Just if we start the engine as well, obviously you'll see it stays on. Oh, we've got the engine light on as well, of course, haven't we, because we've got that error on the other thing. But oh, the indicator is as well, so it is the indicator as well. I didn't notice that when I just did it a minute ago. I think what I'm going to do, as it's doing this, I want to get rid of this error. So before I do this speedo, I think I'm going to do the lambda sensor. So we'll do that first, and then we'll come back and do this. Well, I think we all know where the lambda sensor is. That's it there with a blue wire on it. So I've got to take that out to get to it properly. So I'm going to set you up on tripod, and we'll get this done quickly. It won't take long. I think before we do this, we'll take the earth terminal off the battery. Right, let's get these bits out. So we need to undo that. Actually, while this is out, it'll give me an opportunity to glue this as well. So as you know, it's just got a cable tie on it at the moment. So we'll just pull that off. Let's try and pull it off. Doesn't want to come off. Gotcha. Ow. I always bang my fingers when I do that. Take the breather pipe off, and then it'll move out of the way to one side. That's it. Right. Get a screwdriver. Take that out. There's my trim removal tool. There it is. Sometimes these plugs can be a bit of a pig to get out as well. Take that off of there. I often end up breaking these yellow tabs. Oh, don't want that coming out. Oh, that's it, came undone quite easy. Makes change. And we need a little tool, if I can find it. Oh no, where's that gone? There it is. You've seen this before, this little tool that you use for getting out the lambda sensors. And I just need my socket. Hopefully it will come out easy. Yep, good. That should just unscrew by hand now. Yep, that's good. If this is, I think maybe this is a bit bent actually. Yeah, it is. You can tell it's bent as it's coming out. Oh God, yeah. No wonder. Look at the state of it. You can see that, as well as it being black. Look how bent it is. No wonder. No, that couldn't. I don't understand. That couldn't have got damaged in the accident of this, because there's no. Because the front panel didn't touch the shield, and the shield's not even marked. That's really strange. But yeah, I mean, quite clearly, that's knackered. So we'll get rid of that on the floor. And then I've got another one. As you can see, this one's a nice clean one. This one, I think this one came out of Project Cooey. So the only difference between the top and the bottom sensors is the cable's longer on the bottom one. The actual sensors themselves are exactly the same size. So we'll screw that in loosely. Try to. Doesn't want to screw in for some reason. Let's get some thread, some WD on it, I think. That's it, I got a bit of WD-40 on the thread and sprayed a little bit in the hole as well, into the manifold, just on the edges, and that made it tighten up. I do like the smell of WD-40. Don't know what it reminds me of, but it's quite a nice, unusual smell. Right. Tighten that up. It's an invaluable tool to have if you're doing cars like this. If you're going to do lambda sensors, you just, without it, you can't get them off, because you've got that slit in the side, which obviously goes in where the cable is. Otherwise, you can't turn it. Right, put those down there. Oops, reconnect up the cable, and we want to put that in there. Did I leave the little tab? Yeah, I've got the little tab on the old one. Take that out of there and get it out, just so it slots in properly. That's it. That slots into there, he says, and it wants to. That goes into there, and that's job done. So that is literally a 5-minute job. That. Let's try that tab needs opening up a little bit so it holds it. I think it might even break. Might have to find a new one. Oh no, that's alright. That's worked. That's cool. Right, that's that. Have a look under there while I'm here. I'm going to put this back on for the time being. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a little thread on that. Oh, that's because that's broken. So I see how they've bodged it. That's the breather hose. Where's it gone? Yeah, the little tab that the breather hose plugs into has snapped off, so they've improvised and used something else. I'll try and can't actually see what I'm doing. That's the trouble. It's a shame I didn't make these breather hoses a little bit longer. Can't get it. Can't. Oh, there it is. Don't know how that stays in. But it does stay in, so it does work. Whatever they've done. Bit of a bodge, but so we put it back on for the time being. I was going to leave it off, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I want to get the speedo done. So we won't worry about that at the moment. Oops. I've only got one bolt in this, holding this in at the moment, so I have got some more, so I shall find, I shall find one and put it in. That was missing. Let me just find one. Right, so I didn't put the other bolt in there in the end because I couldn't find one. I have got one, but it wasn't to hand, so I'll put that in later. So right, new lambda sensor in. I've reconnected the battery. I'm just going to get back into the car and have a look at that speedo again. Just want to make a note of where the lights are on, just for future reference. Right, back in the car, 64,360 miles. What I'm hoping, although I haven't plugged it into MES, so what I'm hoping is the those errors just go. Right, I'm hoping that the lambda sensor thing doesn't come up now, because I haven't reset it in MES, but because I've put a new lambda sensor in, I'm hoping it'll just work. We'll soon find out. Oh, no, that's still up. I'm going to have to clear it, I think. Oh, blimmin' thing. Right, let's go and get the computer and we'll clear it. Right, I've just fired up MES and we're going to connect to the engine. And hopefully that will show up, that error, when I go to the errors, it will show up as an intermediate. Intermediate? You know, not intermediate. Intermittent, that's the word I was looking for. Hopefully it won't say present. Intermittent, there we go. Whew. So that, you know what that means? That means that it will clear. So if I press clear on here, we'll film the dashboard and they should go out and then not come back. Right, cleared codes. No fault codes. So why's the light not gone out? Maybe I've got to stop it and restart it again. So it says no fault codes, it's not coming back, but the lights are still on for some reason. Let's stop the engine. Switch the engine back on. That's it. That's it. Lights are out now. So although I'd cleared the codes on there and it said no faults, the lights were still on the dash until I'd stopped the engine. So funnily enough, the right hand indicator light was dimly glowing when there was that error, which is there obviously. That's really bizarre. But now there's no error. So unless that was getting a bleeding light from somewhere else. So this is what I'm wondering about, because if you watched my video on changing the speed, taking the speedo apart that I did a week or so ago, you'll see that that bit around the outside where the lights are is sort of a thin piece of, it's almost like plastic, printed plastic. And where the light comes through is like holes in it, and obviously you've got the LED bulb underneath. I think they're LEDs, but whatever they are, underneath. And it can be a bit loose. So I'm thinking it's sort of the light from a bulb reflecting up and then reflecting back down again, which is then lighting it up a little bit. So I'm going to look at that, and as I say, before I'll take it apart, take the glass off the front, and before I actually replace it, I'm going to attempt to maybe just glue it down and then plug it back in and see what happens. But it'd be good if that is the case, because that would fix a lot of them. I know some of them that's not the case. It is purely the fact that the light is coming on dimly. But if this isn't, which I won't be able to tell until I've taken it out, taken it apart, and then put it back, so I can just sort of lift up the bit of plastic and have a look. But we'll look at that in a minute. So I'm not going to film me getting it out. You've seen me get these out a dozen times. So I'm going to take the thing out and then we'll come back then. Right, I've got the speedo out on the bench. It's got no sticker on the back of it, so I reckon this is a replacement one as well. So I reckon this has probably already gone once. So yeah, anyway, we're going to take it apart and have a look at the little thing around the outside and see if we can get it stuck. So let's just take all these screws out and we'll come back. Right, got it apart. Okay, so we can see that there is very faintly alight. So if I pull that back, whoa, let's get it back out here. If I prop that up, I'm trying to do this with one hand, that's the trouble because I'm holding the camera. So actually the two one is supposed to be a light. The ignition's on there. If I look at that, yes, no, it is. Don't know if I can get the camera in there. Try. It's a bit out of focus, but hang on. There you go. Oh, I'm sure you saw that then. That red light is very faintly a light, not a light. Oh, for heaven's sake, this is crazy. Trying to do this one-handed. Right, let me try again. I'll pull it right off. I'll get the camera in there, yeah. So you can see that on the left-hand light there. That's the one. So that's dim, but it's on. So you can see the one next to the other side of the orange one you could see is bright, because that one's meant to be on. And the other one's really dim. Now, if it was something like the steering wheel, i.e. the power steering, we could put something in to block it up, because that's probably what I'm going to do in Loopy Harold, because it's just that button. It doesn't really matter about the steering light coming on, because that's not going to be an MOT failure. That's just a power steering light. But if I put enough in it, just so it blanks out it when it's dim, I was thinking a bit of blue tack. But then when it's really bright, it'll still show up. So obviously, if you did get a steering error, it wouldn't. It would still show. But on this one, because it's the airbag light, obviously, for an MOT, they have to check that the airbag light comes on and then goes off. As it is at the moment, that wouldn't be a MOT failure. It would come up as an advisory saying that the light is on dim, but it wouldn't fail. Now again, that indicator is lit up dimly, so it's obviously getting a it must be the light that's adjacent to it. Let's just start the engine. Yeah, you can see it better now with no glass on it. So you've got the airbag. I'm not sure if that indicator is... No, maybe not. But yeah, as you can see, the airbag light is quite clearly. So I can't use this because I can't block that out, because it needs to work when it's on. So I'm going to have to change this. But you know, I've got one to change it to. I've got it on the floor down here, so we're going to take this one back out, and then we'll put that other one back. If you can hear a vibration, it's just the intake from the air filter. Well, I haven't done the screw up, it's just vibrating on the front panel, in case you were wondering. Turns like the engine's got a bag full of nails. Let's hope it's the air intake anyway. Anyway, enough of that. I digress. Let's get this done. Right, this is a replacement one. So this one shows 56,000. So obviously I will be adjusting that. Start the engine. No lights. No lights on that shouldn't be on. Put the lights on. Yeah, this one is absolutely spot on. So it's from the same generation of car. So you've got the mileage in the right place, in the right colour, right size, and obviously the time. So it's identical from an identical model. If I press the stop-start button to switch the stop-start off, that comes on as well. So that's good, and it says stop-start activated. Okay, so we know that's good, so we can do all the screws back up, get all this put back together, and we're good to go. There we go, all done. Obviously it's still reading the wrong mileage, it's still reading the mileage of the Speedo, 56,000. But it's all good, all works. Excellent. Right, that's that job done. It's a shame I had to put a new Speedo in it, because that cost me £90, so that's the most I've spent so far on anything. But still plenty of profit in this car, and still a quick turnaround. So right, let's get on with the next thing. So I've done a bit of painting on this. It's not perfect, but it was never going to be perfect. One, it's me spraying it, and two, it's not the right weather at all. So I've dried it off the best I can. I've warmed it up with a heat gun. I've gone around the car, getting off all the black marks. There was a couple of black marks. Oh, I've missed one down there. There was one on the back of the bumper down there, and there was one just there. They've come off as easy as anything with G3. I've still got to do the the tar and stuff that's on the seals, but I'll do that. I'm not going to bother filming that. I've got to put the bolts back into the bumper here and the other side and do the wheel arch liner up properly, which I haven't done. And then I think we're done. Just trying to think what else I've got to do to it. I've done the speedo, I've done the lambda sensor, apart from a service. Once that's, I'm going to give that another couple of coats of paint. When that paint's dry, I shall put the number plate on. I'm going to change the back number plate in a minute. I think it's done. I think it's finished. I'm just waiting for the logbook now, so I'm hoping the logbook will come by the end of this week. Fingers crossed. We will see. But yeah, I'm just going to go around it and get some of those last bits that I missed. Oh, I'm going to change the mirrors. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'll go around and do that bits of gunk marks on the car that I've missed. It's a bit difficult when it's wet. You can use that stuff when it's wet. It's better when it's dry, but you can use it when it's wet. But I'm going to go around the bits I missed, and then we'll swap those mirrors over. Now, these are still a bit wet, but if you remember when we first got this, we noticed that this is all cracked. This paint, so whether this is a DIY paint job and it's not been lacquered or something, I don't know. But they're both like it. Both mirrors are the same. Never seen them like that before. It's obviously, I guess it's wind and weather and stuff that's done it, but I've never actually seen one like that before. So if you remember from Project Cooey, we took these off. These are these are probably DIY painted as well. I've never seen them, obviously we've seen the black mirrors before, but I've never seen them completely black, including the bolt covers, but they look really nice, and I've been waiting for a white car to put them on. And seeing, well actually I say that, I've had them up for sale on eBay for the pair. I think I've probably been asking too much money. I had them up for £69 for the pair. They're only pop mirrors, so they haven't got the heated bit in it, or the temperature sensor rather, so they had to go on a pop. So due to the cracking on that, I decided I might as well put them on there, and then the white ones will probably be easier to sell. And I think I've got some spare covers, so I'll take the covers off, put some new covers on. I might even have a go at painting those, rubbing them down and giving them enough paint myself, see how they come out, and then I can sell those on eBay individually. It's not very often that I come across a car that needs mirrors. Sometimes if they've got broken glass, it's easy just to change the entire mirror, but yeah, I've got a few mirrors and I've got a few mirror caps. They're all in bits and pieces mainly. But I might as well make use of these ones. As soon as I haven't sold them on eBay, I might as well make use of them. So let's get these changed. Well, we know how easy these are to get off. Just the two bolts holding them on. And then obviously we've got, God, it's absolutely sopping wet in there. Absolutely sopping. They're not very good at keeping the weather out, these Fiat mirrors. They're always soaking wet. They wrap the electrical tape around it, but it doesn't stop the water getting in to the actual connections. It's amazing that it doesn't actually get in. Really need to get one of these electric drivers. I keep seeing people using them on YouTube. I need to invest. Oops! I need to invest in one. Makes it a lot easier. I might as well clean this up underneath before I put the new mirror on. Oh, come on. That's it. Yeah, let's give it a clean up underneath. Let's get some G10, give it a clean. Just needs a good wipe, really. I'll go over it with a G10 as well, might as well. I'm wondering whether about putting some different wheel trims on. I've got some spare wheel trims. I might have a look at them, see what they're like. Because these front ones, certainly this one, I'll show you in a minute, but they're in quite a bad state. That'll do. That'll do. Actually, that's got a lot of wires there. Considering this is a pop, this looks like it's got... No, it doesn't come up on the display. It's got a lot of wires, so I was thinking maybe it is heated, but I don't think they are. Well, whatever. These are going on. Okay. Nice and dry in here. Unlike the one I took off. Oh yeah, they look great, don't they, these mirrors on a black car, on a white car even. There we go. They look really nice. And of course they're interchangeable. Completely interchangeable. Obviously if you've got a lounge or a sport that have got heated mirrors which come on with a heated rear window, there's not a separate switch, and also the temperature sensor in. Of course, if you swap it for pop mirrors, the temperature sensor is under here, and obviously this being a pop mirror doesn't have them, but the electric controls and everything else works the same. So that's that one on. That's the first one. That's it. That looked much better. Really looked nice. And then we'll go around and do the other side. Right, I think we're pretty much done. Oh, I've still got to do the bumper bolts, but I've put the little finishing touches on, as I always do. I normally put my flowers on, as you know, on the boot, and I've just cleaned the boot area to put them on, and I can't find them. So I'm going to have to order some more. But I've also put that little thing on there, which is quite nice. I think it looks, it stands out, makes it look good. I like that. And then obviously you've got the other one on the other side. So yeah, I'll have to get some more flowers because I like my little flowers on the back. I don't know what the hell I've done with them. So I'm going to get this bumper all buttoned up properly, and then I think we'll be done. Right, that's it. It's all done. It's all done. The only thing we got left to do is check the service history. I've looked at the oil. The oil looks okay, and the oil filter looks virtually brand new. So I think it's not that long since it's had a service. But until I've tracked down the service history, I don't know for sure. So I'm not going to waste my money in servicing it if it doesn't need it. I've got all that gunk off that's down the side, both sides. We've got the mirrors on. I've got to clean up the wheel trim soon, but I'll do that when it has its final clean. As we know, the interior's all clean. We've changed the clock, the speedo in it. We've now finished painting the bumper. It's not fantastic, but it does the job. We've got the new number plates on. All bolts on the bumper are now done up. That's it. Job done. Job is done. So that was a really quick turnaround. If you added it up, all right, I've done it over like 3 days. If you added, one more thing I just remembered, aerial. I've looked at the aerial underneath. Actually, I'm going to show it to you, the aerial. Now there's basically 2 types of aerial on Fiat 500s. You've got a little white square connector, and then you've got what looks like this. The thing is, this is different to the ones that are available. So I don't know if this black bit is meant to stay on here, but when I pull it out, it separates, and the whole of that black bit ends up on there. So I'm going to have to buy one with a black bit, I think, and I think it's just come off. I plugged it all back in. I was hoping it might start working again. I can feel that this is leaked in here as well. I mean, it could just be condensation, because they do suffer badly with condensation, these cars, on the especially on the roof. So yeah, I'm going to have another go at separating that, and I'm hoping that's going to come in so there's a black bit left on both. I think that's how it should be, and then I'll get an aerial ordered today, and then by the time I get the logbook back, which will hopefully be the end of the week, I'll have that aerial and I can change the aerial. That's the only thing that really got left to do. And then with a bit of luck, come this weekend coming, it'll be up for sale. That would be really good if it is. We'll give it its final clean. For the time being, I'm going to take it over to my sister-in-law's and leave it on her driveway, and then we'll get Bluey back down here and carry on with Bluey. So for the time being, again, thank you for watching. If you're a casual subscriber, please hit that subscribe button up here somewhere. And hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you've learned something from this. Hope you've learned how easy it can be fixing one of these. We'll go through the numbers when we do our final video on it for when it goes up for sale, but it just shows you how you can make a decent profit and how you can get them done really quick. Yeah, I was right about this aerial. I've just managed to separate them, so we have got the black end before that black bit was connected to that black bit. So that is the one that I've seen on eBay, so I can go and order that now, and we can go and take this car somewhere else until till the aerial comes. Excuse me. So yeah, have a go yourself. You never know, you might get one and be lucky like I was on this one. It's about time I had a bit of luck on some of these quick turnaround ones that turn out not to be quick turnaround ones. Engine is sweet as a nut on this one. Obviously we've had to change a couple of bits. We've had to change the speedo, we've had to change the lambda sensor. That's about it really. And now it's as good as new, almost as good as it was. Not new, but you know, almost as good as it was pre-crash. And to some extent, you know, the nice mirrors, the little accents on it, it's better than it was before it was crashed. And of course it's clean inside, which it certainly wasn't. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one as and when we get the logbook back. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and if you can, stay at home. See you soon.